In my 25 years associated with the Coast Guard, I don't think I've ever been prouder or more thankful to be associated with the Coast Guard team as that day in August when this team came together, and as I saw the determination, the professionalism, the stamina, and the competence that each one of them showed as we responded to the Caribbean Fantasy fire. And I have here, we tried to get all 550 members from Sector San Juan down here, but unfortunately we couldn't. But I just wanted to introduce the folks really quickly, because one is they truly were remarkable at what they did, but they also represented units and parts of the organization that were critical in the success of the operation. So I'd first like Lieutenant Nick Herndon. He's commanding officer of the Joseph Tezanos. The ship was, Nick, come on out just so they can, the ship wasn't commissioned yet. They were outbound for sea for the ready for ops. We directed them, and they became the on-scene coordinator and oversaw the initial response operations. Outstanding. BM2 Luis Ortiz, he was a coxswain on a 33-footer. Where's Luis? Oh, there we are. He was a coxswain on a 33-footer. He was one of the first ones on scene. He pulled 75 people off of the fiery ship and brought them safely ashore. OS2 Adam Johns, he's one of our finest command center controllers. He was in the command center when the calls were coming in. He had radios, he had phones, he was working them all. Outstanding coordination. IT3 Renee Gasper. Now, she was in the aircraft. She was one of the aviator types. She hoisted 7 people to safety from the burning ship. I can tell you this. Here's the other thing. These were the first live hoists that she had ever done. Her first day on the job, she helped rescue people in the largest mass rescue operation in U.S. waters in 60 years. Congratulations. BM3 Robert McCurdy, he was one of the ones on the aids to navigation boat that was pulling people, the women and children off the lifeboat that was suspended and stuck. Not only that, but he was administering first aid. One of the members that were rescued went into diabetic shock, and he, with CPR, resuscitated that member, and that member fully recovered. DC1 Ryan Hope, he was on the Richard Dixon when the Tezanos, we brought the Tezanos in, the Richard Dixon relieved the Tezanos, and the DC1 was one of the ones that was critical in enforcing the security zone, controlling the flow of people and vessels from the vessel, and then also providing critical communications back to our command center. Thank you. IT3 David Smith. We stood up the incident command post, and as you know, a command post doesn't work very well if there's no phones or computers. And the IT3 was the one that was working his magic so that as we expanded our footprint in those operations, that we had the communications and the IT support to make that happen. So well done. Chief One Officer Mike Zanetti, he was one that was working the finance and resource management, and as you know, with an operation like this, managing people and money is critical, and his oversight of that section was outstanding. Thank you, Mike. Mr. Joel Morgado, he is our mass rescue operations coordinator, and he was the one that was at the receiving site and helped coordinate as we had these 511 passengers come in, making sure they were triaged for their medical concerns, processed through customs. Not only was he overseeing that site, but over the last year, he's been working with our partners, drawing up the mass rescue operations plan. So in the event that we needed to do a mass rescue operations, that everyone was prepped and on the same sheet of music. His efforts were significant and contributed greatly to the success of the overall operation. Lieutenant Commander Mike Vega, he was our planning section chief. If you've ever had a big operation, you know, the operators are working, we're trying to take care of the objectives of the hour, and it's the planning staff that works hard, tirelessly looking ahead to making sure that the objectives of the next operational period and all the resources required are in place. And so Mike Vega, outstanding job. And finally, Commander Janet Espino-Young, a local hero. Where is she? I got to lean the other way now. It's messing up. She was the operations section chief, absolutely critical, spearheading the operations, both in terms of coordination and execution over the 4 days. It couldn't have happened without her. Very well done, Janet. So all of these folks, even though they're 12, they represent about 350 men and women from Sector San Juan, other units there on Puerto Rico, but also District 7 land area and other Coast Guard units that provided expertise. Truly a unity of effort that brought those 511 folks safely ashore. And I also have to mention that it wasn't the Coast Guard alone. There were 20 other agencies that were part of the operation. And I just want to extend my thanks and recognition for all those that came and worked beside us shoulder to shoulder as we executed the operation. Couldn't have happened without them. So anyway, thank you all. Thank you for coming tonight, and Semper Paratus.